Hey there, folks. Although I'm sure you can probably guess why we're here.
This is, after all, a crowdfunding video.
I'm fairly certain you have no idea who we are.
Well, of course they don't know who we are, Mel. We haven't got a significant fan base.
No fan base.
And we're not being broadcast over the airwaves yet.
True, but we've been podcasting for a couple of years now, so I'm thinking there's at least a neutrino-sized chance these folks caught one of our shows.
Neutrino-sized is right, since our fame has remained inexplicably elusive, even after these few years.
Imagine that.
It is hard to imagine, I know.
Anyway, now can we get back to this thing we're supposed to be doing?
Of course. Please proceed.
Anyway, as I was elucidating, you folks are likely wondering who we are, coming to you from the magnificent state of Kentucky, USA.
Can I just add, we're coming to you from a mostly blue oasis within the beautiful red state of Kentucky. That is the city of Louisville, home of the world-renowned Kentucky Derby, Louisville Slugger baseball bat, and some excellent bourbon whiskeys.
Which I think we both could use a little of right about now, but I digress. In any case, red and blue don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, are we really going to care about anyone's political viewpoint when the oceans breach their current containment areas or our potable water supply is evaporated?
Mel, I think you're getting just a bit off track now. Rein it in just a tad.
It's so difficult though, but I'll try. Anyway, as I was saying, blue and red don't really matter when it comes to building a fantastic community in any metropolitan sector of these good old United States of America. If any of you have caught our show on the internet,
that is the Two Angry Buds, whose delightful and informative diatribes have been popping up on the Forward Radio website for your listening pleasure.
Oh, delightful diatribe. I'm afraid delightful would never describe a diatribe, but I could be wrong.
Then you may already be aware that we're here to ask you for your financial support for the WFMP radio project.
Yes, we are. Indeed, green is the color we're currently concerned about. That is money, the green stuff, the local currency, the grease that keeps our capitalist engine well lubricated.
Oh, Mel, you do love that cash, don't you? Can't you be a little more upbeat about this? After all, our broadcasting future may depend on it.
Well, I know all too well that we have to, and I have come to accept cash as my corporate lord and savior.
Mel, I know how much you hate money, corporate greed, and all the evil that accompanies it, but cash is essential to getting our community radio station right on the air.
You're absolutely right, Vic. And to all you folks out there watching and listening, let me begin by apologizing. It feels kind of impertinent of us to ask you to support our low-power FM radio project in Louisville, Kentucky, when we're not even on the air.
You forgot the keyword, Mel, yet. We're not yet on the air, but we will be. The station is definitely coming. In fact, our studio is already set up and operational. So this is kind of like asking folks to invest in a racehorse that's still just a little foal.
Indeed, and like that racehorse that Vic mentioned, we know from looking at its pedigree, or is it lineage, that it's going to be a winner, possibly even a triple crowner. And so it is with the Forward Radio project here in Louisville.
Right. Forward Radio is sure to be another American Pharaoh for all you racing fans out there. We've certainly believed in it from the start, along with all the other members of our working group. We have been producing programming for Forward Radio from the beginning, so there are now some 19 episodes of our show, Two Angry Buds, available on the station's website. While doing the show has obviously been a pleasure for us, I'm not sure it's always as pleasurable for our listeners, since we're usually bringing some bad news. But anyway, I'm Vic, and this is Mel.
Nice change up, Vic. And hello, y'all from the Bluegrass State,
where our grass may be blue, but our state politics are most definitely red.
And that's just an example of why you should support our low-power FM radio station, to help us get a few new voices out there in our community and around the world. new voices from segments of our population who are never represented in the mainstream media.
You know, media today is kind of like Hollywood shows. They only bring us stories about the mostly young, mostly white, mostly male experience.
Yes,
I mean,
true.
Friends, still running on many stations, was a fun TV show, but where were the real New Yorkers in that group?
Not in any of their fairy tale apartments, that's for sure.
So to provide an alternative to that sort of mindless media landscape, we started building this community radio station about 3 years ago. In 2013, we applied to the FCC for a radio broadcasting license, and guess what? We've got it.
Yay.
As long as we can get WFMP on the air by next spring.
Which we will do if we can raise enough cash to pay the cost of buying and setting up our transmitter, mounting our antenna, and flipping the switch to start broadcasting.
Hooray! And you can imagine that setting up a radio station is sort of like starting up a new business.
Yep, there's a whole mess of equipment we still need to buy, licenses to purchase, a business office to set up, broadcast engineer to hire, etc., etc.
We've done well. We've raised about $7,000, but we need another $10,000 before the end of this year to buy our remaining equipment and get on the air. At least $3,000 of that will be needed just to purchase and install our antenna.
And we plan to install the antenna on one of the tallest buildings in downtown Louisville, so our listening area
And therefore our influence.
could stretch as far as 10 miles in all directions, which is very exciting.
It's very exciting because it will also likely extend our range into that very red state of Indiana to our north. Wonder how dear Governor Pence will feel about hearing the two Angry Buds broadcasting in his state.
Maybe he'll be gone by then, but I won't tell him if you won't.
It's a deal now.
Well, anyway, while our fundraising efforts have been productive, as you might guess, we can always use more cash. Right now, fundraising is of the essence. If we don't raise enough money to get our station ready to broadcast, we will lose our chance at obtaining that all-important radio license.
And if we lose the opportunity to create our PFS station, you can bet that one of those media giants
Comcast, Time Warner, Disney, etc.
will jump at the chance to add yet another station to their roster.
So if you like the idea of bringing a community radio station on the air, bringing local voices to the airwaves,
Or if you've already enjoyed listening to the two Angry Buds rant about the world's woes,
we'd sure appreciate your financial support, which you can do right here, right now on this fundraising project.